The objective of this lesson is to learn about dictionary methods in Python. This table shows some useful dictionary methods. I should mention that there are more methods on dictionaries, but these are the most common and the most useful dictionary methods that you will use. Let me show you an example of the use of each of these methods in the Python environment. Here I have created a dictionary and simply printing the values in the dictionary. So when I run this program, you see that Python prints all the dictionary elements. Next, I am going to use the clear method, and to make sure that you know the syntax of the method, I am going to put it up here as a comment for you. Now, as the name implies, the clear method will clear all the elements from a dictionary and returns an empty dictionary. If I print the dictionary, you will see after the clear method, the dictionary is empty. Next, I'm going to show you the get method. Here is the syntax of the get method. What it does, it actually gets the value which is associated with the key. If I say x is equal to person.get, and let's say I want to get the age of the person, and then print x. When I run this program, you see that the age of a person is shown as 30. You may have noticed that the get method acts almost the same or exactly the same as if you use the square brackets. If I say person square bracket and use age and then print y, you see that both x and y are the same. So you might think that get method is the same as using the square brackets. However, there is a difference between get and using the square brackets. And the difference is when you are looking for a dictionary key which does not exist. For example, if I'm looking for a dictionary key called job in here, now if I run my program, you notice two things. The first one is that when I got to this line and tried to get the value which is associated with this key, which is called job, then the get method actually returned none, and it printed none here. However, when I tried the square brackets and tried to get the value which is associated with the key job, it gave me an error and told me you have a key error. And that is the difference between get method and square brackets. Get method always returns a value. If it finds a key, then it returns the associated value. However, if it doesn't find the key, then it returns the default value. In general case, if you don't say anything, then it returns none, which is the default value. However, if you say something like after the get method, let's say I say 5, that means you are asking the system to look into the dictionary called person and find the value which is associated with the key job. You're also telling the system that if you cannot find job, then return this value to me. If I run my program now, you see that 5 will be printed here. However, since the key job does not exist, the square bracket returns an error. Here is another example. If I say hello here and remove this erroneous statement from here, then when I run, you see that hello is returned because the value of job did not exist. However, for example, if I say name here, when I run my program, you see that John is returned because name did exist in my dictionary. The next method that I'm going to talk about is called keys. This method returns an object of dictionary keys. Since at this time you do not know about objects, what I suggest you do, whatever you get from this method, you can convert it to a list to be able to look at it. Let's say I will have a variable x and I say person.keys, and if I print x, you see that it tells me that it is a dictionary keys of weight age, and name. Notice that it is an object, and best thing that you can do at this point is convert the whole thing to a list. Now if you print it, you see that you are getting a list of all the keys in your dictionary. The next item that I'm going to talk about is called pop. What pop does, it actually goes and gets an item and returns the value to you. However, at the same time, it also removes that item from the dictionary, so it doesn't exist there anymore. Here is an example. Let's say I'm going to pop the value of age. If I print my X, you will see that the value that it returned to me was 30. At this point, it looks like the get. However, if I also print the value of the dictionary itself after the pop, you notice that the age element, this element, is not in the dictionary anymore. The next method that I'm going to talk about is called update. The update method updates a dictionary by using another dictionary. For example, let's say I have another dictionary called pet, and I use something like the key being type. Let's say the type is dog, and then another key color. Let's make it white. If I print both of these dictionaries, you see what they are here. Now let's update one of these dictionaries with the other one. So let's say I'm going to use person.update and use pet to update the person. That basically means that you are gonna take every object in the pet and add it to the dictionary person. Now if I print person, you see that the dictionary person has been changed and now includes the type and the color, which are part of the pet dictionary. There are two things in here which I would like you to notice. The first one is that when I update the person dictionary with pet, the pet dictionary itself is not changed. And as you can see, the pet dictionary did not change. The second is, what if there is an item which has the same key in both of these dictionaries? For example, let's imagine that we also have an item here which is age, and it has a different value than the other dictionary. So as you can see, I have an item in the person dictionary called age. I also have an item in the pet dictionary called age, and when I update it, let's see what happens. Since we cannot have two items in a dictionary with the same key, it is obvious that we cannot have two age keys in the updated dictionary. So we either have to use 7 or we have to use 30 as a value for key of age. And since you're updating the person dictionary with the pet dictionary, so the final value would be 7. The last method that I'm going to talk about is the method called values. This method returns an object of dictionary values. Again, since we have not covered objects in this course, the best thing you can do to return all the values is use the list function to convert whatever is returned to a list. When I say X is person.values, and if I print X, you will see it says it is an object called dictionary values of these numbers, which are the values in that dictionary. To make a list out of it, all you have to do is call it with a list function. Now, if I run it, you see that it returns a list of all the values in that dictionary to me. So, what did you learn in this lesson? You learned about some of the dictionary methods in Python.